that they denied. Every time I see it, I think we all.
That one's
Now that we know that.
Somewhat.
George picture reminds me of a speech.
Yeah, he feels strange.
Let's see, well, he's like a radio broadcaster, so he does a lot of like interviews, like he does the very like the paranormal.
The dog guy?
He's like one of the first people on radio. He's a very like advocate for people and stuff like that.
The dog.
If you listen to people's like, stories about like, productions or anything.
Years ago, I listened to that radio. It kicked in. I was addicted to listen. But only in driving.
I almost wanted to get here when first.
Hope they're not. I think Amy just go with it.
So I think you're close enough about 10 minutes away. Wow.
Hopefully they don't put her on.
Today?
Good. Been out here all weekend. All job?
Anytime from 9 to 12 or 1 to 4.
That's
That's what I'm saying, just go with it.
But I come out to the office. I have several friends here still. So that's where I'm going to stay after the conference. So I can
doing this.
No, unfortunately. I would joke with people and say that I'll be able to retire 5 years after I die. Give or take.
You should get us like a meeting.
But fortunately, I can now work my own way. So I can work wherever I'm at. I'm still going to work.
They were not even close to shoot.
You, I think you're retired?
Came out. Oh, December, as soon as we came down those stairs, I was like, oh my God.
And I tend to, like, when I
You got any particular plans for your retirement time?
I used to, I forgot today.
Probably not laughing.
Right in the very front of that Jewish.
So what to do when I grow up?
I
I know, I'm still trying to grow up. But yeah, any thoughts of traveling or?
But when I was driving in, I passed where my brother.
Quality of life is big. I recently bought a small RV van. So it's a regular sized van, but it's outfitted with everything you need in an RV. And I'm planning to drive around the fair amount of the country at different times and be able to work from the road. So I'll take a couple of weeks, go somewhere and come back home and still be able to work without having to take time off. Hopefully that's going to work out. So I just got it in May and I took a couple of small trips to test out the waters. And one day I'm hoping to bring it out here to Los Angeles.
You know what's interesting about that cemetery? That they have a bunch of people that they grow food and then they sell it. It's like that cemetery. And then they're in. It's amazing, they sell all this stuff.
I got one called Storyteller.
I wonder if it's got the.
That's the manufacturer. They do the best quality vans. Mercedes Sprinter on 25 small chassis. But the space is really late.
They went to get the batteries because this is not functioning properly.
Yeah, we heard him.
Oh, you heard him, right?
We heard him saying he had to go get batteries.
It's gonna be no choice. Yeah, I opened up the space so I can show you some things. It's gonna be spot.
I like plastic.
Building on one myself.
Yeah? On what chassis?
A 1995 Chevy G30.
Okay.
Which I like them older anyways.
Yeah. That's what I had thought about doing at one point, getting the chassis and then building it out myself. I just didn't have time since I still have to work.
What do you run in exchange?
Yeah, I do computer work. So I was telling him fortunately I can work remote.
Yeah, that's pretty common. People, like people live in exchange.
I'm hoping to be able to do some traveling and work at the same time without having to take off from work. So drive to the city, parks, work, go to the next city.
I'm afraid.
I'm from Pittsburgh, so I'm hoping to drive it all the way to LA here and back one of these days.
Yeah, LA is like, from what I heard though, it can be. Okay, so I still
Yeah, I haven't been one more. I used to live in this area for 12 years, so I have friends out there. Hopefully some of them have driveways I can park in. I've heard people say that Cracker Barrel allows people to park
He's scratching his tummy on the carpet.
Trying out the army.
Kind of make it look like a contractor that's done.
That's what I would have done if I had built mine out.
I plan on doing that.
Even though the name of my band, the model is called the Stealth, it's still, you couldn't, still know it's an RV.
Or you could like, to still let like a relatively have a lot of dogs on the outside, you get like a full body wrap and say like, John soundtrack. For this, like, and like, I saw a guy like a festival that it was like a fully outfit, but like, has the outside has a big wrap, and like, does like nobody asks any questions.
Nice, that's a good idea.
Yeah, my client,
Well, I don't know how much full
my
body.
client is he gets a dog like he's already
As long as it's a solid gray color van, I would just get a,
Yeah, great, you got solid.
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so I just hit the sign.
Look at she's required.
Over there.
Just a few minutes, looking for the batteries. If not, we'll just start without batteries, so I'll have to scream. Okay, have no choice.
Good morning, everyone. While we're just waiting to get started, I'm Maura. I'm one of the MCs. You're going to see a bunch of us in all the different rooms, and it's always so fun. And how many of you, this is your first Expo? Amazing. Well, welcome. And you're in an awesome place. While we're waiting for the batteries, I'll just share with you my own experience. Last night, I got to meet Lee. David Wolf's, one of his beautiful people over there said, pulled me over, Wolfina, she said, you've got to meet this guy and his technology, the Sunflower of Life technology, it's amazing. I was like, okay, sure, I'll check it out. And you all are warmly invited to his booth that's right out here, because you're gonna, if you're called, which I highly, highly encourage you, he'll do some muscle testing for you with his technology, but I'm not going to give anything away. All I'm going to say is I had an amazing experience and was really deeply touched. And something that really inspired me, Lee shared with me about his background. He's got tremendous success in very fine designer jewelry, and he is so moved by this, that this is his passion. This is his purpose. And when he's seen the results of what this technology can do, and then he shared with me, I hope it's okay.
Yeah.
He's worked with Drumbelow Melchizedek.
Oh.
And his background, I mean, the whole time we were there, and a dear friend of mine, Dream Rockwell, walked up. And Dream was like, whoa, who is this, And then we pulled in another woman that's one of the organizers of this whole event. And you'll notice that his booth always has like a whole hive of people, because that's what frequency does. That's what energy does. And we might not understand it all, but we feel it. So right now, what I'm going to encourage all of you to do, this is a very, very special talk. And there's no accident that you're here. There's no mistakes. And today, we're encouraging you to just open your mind, open your heart, and get ready to feel. And dive into this. Because you're about to jump into an extraordinary adventure of the body, mind, spirit, and the soul. And frequency. And what I feel from this guy is a lot of light, a lot of love, and a lot of real integrity and caring for each of us and for this planet. So let's give a warm, awesome welcome to Lee Arison. And when the batteries get here, we'll just do a quick timeout to put the batteries in, but he's got so much brilliant information to share. I'd love you to get to dive in.
Okay, let me just do one thing. Ray, we're starting right now. Are we rolling there? Yeah. Okay, perfect.
All right, family. One more time. Lee Arison.
So the battery is going to arrive, and what we're going to do is I want you literally to open your feelings up, because I'm going to provoke you. I'm going to let you see things. I want you to pay attention to what you're going to see. Not only what you're going to see, is how you're going to feel and what you're going to think about it at the moment you see it. It's really important, because what happens to us, I've been trying to figure out me.
1 second. I'm in the back and it's hard to hear. If you cannot hear, there are lots of seats up front. Come on and move up closer.
Oh, thank you.
We're getting batteries to the mic, but we don't.
And if not, I'll try to yell for an hour and a half.
Yeah, so everybody, if you can't hear, just move up and people move your stuff and make room for each other. Certainly.
This is my colleague, Ray, good-looking soul. If you want to take pictures with him, please do so. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll wait for the batteries, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, how I started the journey. I'm from Ukraine, Russia, and lived 33 years of my life as a hardcore atheist. Guys, it was a remarkable experience. People who don't understand atheism don't understand anything. But people who don't understand it and lived it, they had a great experience about it. And what's the experience about it is that you don't have restrictions to your thought process because you have no punishment coming from higher up. And I lived it like to the fullest. I said, man, this is good stuff. Okay? But I always had some kind of a thought process in my head, and I had no idea where it's coming from. Literally had no idea where it's coming from, but I was always thinking and figuring things out. And when I had a chance, and people said, you know, you talk like you're really a religious person. I said, no, I'm just trying to figure out how this world works. And at 33 years of age, I was given a book. It was Kabbalah, and it was written in English. And I'm going to say this because this is exactly the way it's happened. It was my partner at the time who smoked a joint. I don't know if everything happens like that. And we read this Kabbalah for a little while, and there was an explanation of consciousness. When that explanation of consciousness hit me, I actually had a 30 seconds, and no more than 30 seconds. Maybe it was more because I was high at that time, but it was no more than 30 seconds I had clarity. And that clarity was so profound, so amazing. I knew everything that existed in the universe. I know how the universe worked, everything. And within 30 seconds, it disappeared. And I said to myself, wow, what the heck just happened to me? And I decided to do it next day. This is the last time I smoked a joint. Because the next day, what happened is it was not a clarity. Just imagine accumulating 33 years of your life, all kind of negative emotions, negative thoughts. And all of a sudden, they all come at one time to the surface. I was suicidal. I realized that I can't handle the energy that I was possessing inside. I didn't know what was happening to me, but what literally happened to me, I was trying to commit a suicide because I couldn't handle it. Because there was so much negativity coming out. And I, like I said, at 33 years of age, you accumulate a lot of crap, let's put it this way. But something hit me. Information landed into my mind, and I called my partner, my wife at the time, and I said, do you love me? She says, yes, I do. I said, can you please tell me that you love me while I'm driving to you, because I can't handle what it is that's happening to me. And for about 45 minutes on the phone, she was telling me that she loved me. I figured this is the only thing that stopped me from going overboard. And I'm realizing that people go through life, and they have these moments of life where they literally cannot handle the pressure of their emotional pain. And when that emotional pain gets to the surface, you really struggle. So I began my journey, and I'm like, okay, this is, I never smoked, I didn't smoke a joint ever again, because I realized that was influencing my emotional state, not naturally. I want to be naturally figuring out myself. Almost within 2 days, I met people. I walked into my friend's store, who was a drug abuser, womanizer, and everything, and all of a sudden, this guy was actually absolutely a perfect human being. I said, what happened to you? He's had a little book on the table, and it says, Freedom to Live in Love. I said, who wrote this? He goes, I cannot tell you about it. I said, can I borrow it? He let me borrow it. I went to my office. I had a high-end jewelry store in the middle of Philadelphia, one of the top jewelry stores. And I sat down, I locked the doors, I told, don't bother me. And I began to read. The next day, I was walking on air. You know, like Jesus walked on water? I felt just like it. Okay, so basically the information was so profound that our thoughts makes our emotions. That our emotions are profoundly built into our system. And if we don't know how to deal with them, guess what happens to us? We're going to be going on a roller coaster consistently. And what happened is my journey began. I wanted to meet the people. I met the people. And I realized that I was in pain. I lived my whole life in pain without knowing about it. I wasn't conscious about it. So my 3 philosophies that I work with number 3 a lot. And the reason I work with number 3 a lot is because it's easy to remember. Because if somebody gives you certain big steps, like 10 steps or this, it's very difficult to follow through. But if you break it down into small steps, it's easier to deal with, so you can follow and get it done. So I'm going to start doing this now, guys. Please understand, this is my first rodeo, so be patient with me. If I push the wrong button, I actually have 2 assistants who help me to turn my phone off. Oh, some of you know what I'm talking about, right? I called my son and said, what do I do? He said, Dad, you're not that stupid. I said, no, but I'm old. Okay, so for me, my first philosophy, consciousness is everything. Now, when I say consciousness is everything, it's really important to not just say it, but figuring out what it truly is. Because to each individual of us, we're different. And everything that we're going to do, okay, sorry about somebody wants to, can you sit in front? This would be easier for you? So this way we can, okay, the batteries are coming. I appreciate you so much, yeah, because we don't have the batteries, and I don't want to hold the phone, not the phone, the microphone. So when I say consciousness is everything, that moment when I realized that I knew everything in the universe, I realized how important it is for us to be conscious. Not just when we're meditating, not when we're doing some practices, not when we do yoga or we're trying to do teaching. Actually, when you live your life, to be conscious at every moment. I'm pretty sure everybody heard of Eckhart Tolle. Wonderful guy, great concept, and he talks about being in the present moment. See, consciousness to me is meditation with your eyes open. Just think about it. I want you to feel what I'm talking about. It's a meditation with your eyes open. Now, I have a lot of friends that meditate. They sit down, they get into the space, and then they meditate and meditate. They get out of meditative state, they go into real world, they get into car accidents, they step on the nails, and they have problems. Now, in meditative states, we can control our thought process. But how do we control our thought process at the moment when our eyes are open? And you're going to be experiencing some really unique things today. I'm going to take you on a journey, and some of you I'm going to test right here, so you're going to have a personal experience. And then if everyone comes out, I will test everyone, and that's what I do. I test you, show you how your physical, mental, and spiritual bodies work. Now, we're going to do the next one. Now, I want you to look at this picture, and I want you to connect to this. What do you feel?
Happiness. Joy.
Go ahead. Joy. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Okay. Now, my second philosophy is really simple, but extremely difficult to achieve because you got to break down everything that you know about yourself. Everything is perfect the way it is. Now, if I go back here and we're going to see joy and happiness and see how perfect it is, this is beautiful. Sunshine, children smiling, having a good time. And we can call this everything is perfect the way it is. And now I want you to really pace yourself and really take your time to look at the next picture.
I remember that.
I want you to look at it and take your time with it. Because how do you find perfection in this? Now, right now, the energy of this room just collapsed. To see perfection in this is extremely difficult. And the reason for it? It's not this. Now, what's interesting about this is that the person you see in the picture became a very famous artist. She came out and she changed her world. And with that, she was changing everybody else's world. This is the young lady who was in the picture. She became an artist and she wrote this: "Forgiveness made me free from hatred." It's a really big part of consciousness, forgiveness. About forgiveness, I'm going to tell you a little story which is really unique to me. I had a really good friend, and I'm talking about good friend. He was staying in my house, he was in my jewelry store, and I don't know what happened, but on the cameras, we're watching him stealing from me. Good friend, he's in my house, he's in my jewelry store, and he's stealing from me. Everybody wanted to destroy him. Every person that saw the video of him stealing says, you got to call to the cops and everything else. You know what I said to them? I said, we have no idea where he is. We don't know where his mental and emotional state is. We don't know how much pain he's going through right now doing this, because this is not normal. I mean, how many of you stole in your life? Raise your hands. Thank you. Okay. How many of you got caught? Okay, the reason I'm asking this, my stealing journey ended up really fast. It was a really short career when I stole. Okay, I had my uncle who was collecting silver dollars, and I saw a silver dollar, and at 7 years of age I said to myself, I am smart. I'm going to take that silver dollar, I'm going to go change it to the paper dollar, I'm going to tell them that I found it, and they're going to buy me a milkshake. That's exactly what happened. That's funny, right? So I go in, and then they sat me down, and I'm sitting there, and I know I got caught. And I said, and that's the last time I took anything. That's the last time the experience allowed me not to take anything. But that experience was not based on my free will. It was experience of fear, which is created an opportunity, opportunity for me to become different. Let's put it this way, never to take something that belongs to me ever again. Everything is perfect the way it is. I want you to remember this, because for us to see a perfection, and I'm going to ask a question, I would love somebody to give me an answer. Why is this perfection?
It's all part of the divine plan.
That's part of it. That's a good one. Go ahead.
It completes the other picture? Right?
Completes the other picture. I'm going to give you a huge secret. Go ahead.
Hope. I see hope in the
Hope.
picture.
Beautiful. This is perfection is because we a part of that creation. We all creating this. We're all part of it, and I'm going to explain to you why, because it's an important part of it, and I began to think about it. I think a lot. And one of the things about it, thinking a lot, that I'm free of what I think. I have no restrictions. I can go anywhere I would love to go with my thought process, and I'm not afraid. The reason it's perfect is because we participate in creating this. How many of you have negative thoughts? What do you think happens to your negative thoughts? In my opinion, they go into the universe. And when and I think the universe is extremely fair. I'm going to call it this way. And the reason it's extremely fair is because when the universe receives the negative thoughts, it does not allow it to be real instantaneously, fast, within a split of a second. It allows to accumulate itself. And then when there is no longer capability of holding this energy together, it releases to us, to our world. That's how amazing the universe is. Okay, my third philosophy. It is you who are personally responsible for your own reality. At one point, I said to myself, I'm going to take 100% responsibility for what I do. And it's not easy, because we have people come in our world, in our reality. Somebody comes in and they're going to do something to you, and you say, what the heck's wrong with you? You know, why are you doing this to me? At that moment, I always take responsibility for what that person does to me. And I'm going to explain to you why. I was driving a car, and it was in the Prescott area in Arizona, and all of a sudden I see an accident in front of me, and this guy's car flipped, and I thought I'm going to avoid it, but I couldn't avoid it. It hits me, I'm in the ditch. My car is totaled, everything crushed, and I'm sitting there. And the first question I asked myself, how did I create it? How did I create this scenario? What happened to me at the moment, and how he existed in my reality? And as I was sitting down, I was in pain. The car is totaled. And when I found out the reason he was in my reality and how I created him, the pain went away. All of it, everything went away. I realized what happened. I had to backtrack it because the energies need to meet together somewhere in space of that interaction with all of us. I was driving home with groceries. I saw a casino. I like to gamble. I was sitting on a light, and rather than going straight, I turned into a casino. Now, if I was successful winning, it would be one thing. I probably would have good feelings. But I lost $200 I couldn't afford to lose at that point. I was going home miserable. My feelings were hurt because my pain was inside. I spent the money of the family that I couldn't support at that time because we just moved to Arizona. And I was driving it, and the energy, everybody's energies at that intersection came together. It's an impossibility for me to be there randomly. They had some thoughts and energies, and the universe allowed us to come together and release the energy. This is how the energy releases itself. The universe does it through wars, through anger and frustration, through fight between the couples. This is how the energy builds up and then dissipates. It goes away, and then it comes down. Do you ever couples argue? Everybody's arguing, right? Okay, so yeah, you're laughing at it because you say, now do you know that after the argument, you cool down? Why? You release the energy. You release an emotional state that was taking you into a direction of painful. You created the pain and it needs to go somewhere. It really got to go. So when it happened, I decided to take responsibility for everything. There was an interesting movie. There was a soldier who came home. And I remember vividly, and he went through a ritual. He was an Indian, and that ritual was that he was in a trance, and the vision came to him. One of the visions was that, well, I'm going to ask this gentleman. Somebody comes over and hits you in the face. What do you do?
I love you.
Okay, listen to this. I said, this gentleman. Okay? Okay, he needs help. Okay, sorry. You see, a woman, she's going to say, I love you. But what would that, because I'm asking a man for a reason, because we have the nature to react. What would you do?
I'd ask him why he did that.
Why he did it, correct. Well, that's a second level, okay? The first level, the reaction of a normal guy who lives in a reality, normal reality, hits you back.
Yeah.
Okay? Here you go. Thank you. You recognize this, right? So this is normal. This is exactly what's happening. The second reality is the vision that he saw. The guy was screaming in his face, why are you doing it? But he was not hitting him. He was not using his physical energy to achieve the result. The third reality is really unique. It's a step up. Is when you ask yourself a question, how did I create it? It doesn't make a difference what he did, but how his energy came into my space to create my reality at this moment. And when that happens, you are stepping out of the reality that you existed in into a different mental state and emotional state. And the fourth one, my favorite, that when you take responsibility and then you have an ability to create your reality, guess what happens to you? Nothing ever happens without your permission. And you create everything that exists in your life. And I've been on a path doing this, and I'm noticing great results. I stumble, I fall, sometimes, I call it everybody has a button to push. And if I'm going to come over to somebody, I'm going to say, my apologies, I'm going to say, this button is going to give me this reaction. And this woman says, oh yeah, this is how I react in this situation. What I do is I literally take the buttons off of myself that allow me not to experience pain. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. Happiness is a choice. If I had to say from 1 to 10, just yell it out, how happy you guys are.
7, 8,
8. Now, you know why? If we take this group of people, you see, it's everything about 5. I figure 50% happiness, you're really in good shape. But where are we? We in conscious life Expo. Listen to the words, conscious life Expo. We're experiencing consciousness and life in this place. That's why we're more happy here than we'll be in any other place. Why are you laughing up? Okay,
Because it's true.
That's true, isn't it? Okay. Grief. I use my personal experiences to tell a story. About 8 years ago, my daughter died. Okay? I want you to remember what I said. Pay attention to what you're going to feel. How many of you felt sadness? Raise your hand. I'm going to ask you a question. Why?
We felt your pain.
Empathy.
Empathy. My pain. That's incorrect. Loss. Well, I'm going to give you a secret. Go ahead, sir.
I have a daughter. I haven't lost her. Be devastated.
Devastating. Okay. As a father, I always was thinking about it. How would I feel when this thing's going to happen? Because we think about it because we want to protect the children. This is our life. This is what we do. We need to go through the process of life. And we want to protect the children from pain. But the reason we're all feeling this empathy and pain, so to speak, is because we're relating to our own emotional pain. I have no pain. And it was one of the most extremely amazing experiences of my life when my daughter that passed away gave me a gift to know how the universe works. When she passed away, I get a phone call. I didn't know about it. My father on the phone, and you can feel the pain coming out of the person. Now, please understand, what you experience is your pain, not mine, because I already dealt with it. But I didn't deal with it. I was gifted a gift that I cannot. I would love to share it because I help so many people who are grieving, and I'm telling them that there's a reason that things happening, and I'm going to explain to you because I want you to walk away with the knowledge of anything that's going to happen to you. You're going to have a choice. There's always going to be the choice. So what happened to me, but I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I'm going to tell you a little story about my grandmother. She was blind, no education. I was about 5 years of age. She grabbed my hand and she said these words to me. And I want you to pay attention, please, because it's really important, because this is what makes you live without fear and pain. She says, remember this, the only thing I want you to remember from me. She says, there is no difference to eternity, how long you have lived on this world. One day or 100 years, you have experienced life. I want you to feel this. We're experiencing life, and it doesn't make a difference if you're 100 or 50 or 1 day old. We all had an experience. Now, one more thing it is, I began to feel this a little bit differently, is when I realized what eternity is. Can anybody tell me what eternity is?
This moment right now.
Exactly. But you're in the physical body. I understand that this is a moment and this is an eternity. But
Soul.
eternity. Go ahead. Anybody else?
Soul.
Soul. Very good.
Spirit.
What?
A spirit.
A spirit, soul, spirit. Now, what is the difference to eternity or the soul? How long you live in this physical body? Just think about it. Just feel this for a second.
Expiration date.
For the physical body. That's all it is. How many of you believe in reincarnation? Here we go. Now, I know I've been here before because, excuse my French, shit that I understand, it didn't came from me from high school. I was a lousy student. Okay? So basically, I love Jade. I have no idea from why. No idea why I love Jade. I'm realizing somebody told me that I was a Buddhist monk that reached a certain level of consciousness, did not find what I was looking for, and came back to figure it out right now. Born into atheist reality. You know, how does it for going from this to that? But the thing is just think about eternity. It is really the most important part of us to live a free life in this reality, because when we free here inside, we will not be able to feel pain. So I'm going to end up tell you the story about my daughter. So when I felt the wall of pain coming my way, I said to myself, whoa, I don't want to feel that. Just like nobody wants to feel pain. And I said it to myself, and I went to the shower, and this is what happened to me. I'm taking shower. Was water, but guys, by the way, water does remarkable thing when you're in pain. You literally gotta do this and just work, get a shower, whatever you need to do, that will clear up a lot of stuff. And I said to my daughter, I said, honey, how do I react to your death at 27 years of age? And this is what I heard. Celebrate my life. And I said, celebrate your life. Now here, it makes sense. But we were programmed, literally programmed, to experiencing pain when somebody is lost. And when somebody is lost, we have a program matrix saying, this is how you gotta act. So I was in the shower and I consciously made a decision from my free will and from my choice to celebrate life. All of a sudden, when that decision was not made here,
No
I don't wanna
AAA
hold it.
batteries.
you want me to hold this? Okay.
Celebrate the mic.
So oh my God, I love you, brother. Okay. That was, you know what, we should have a comedy duo, okay? That was a good one, right on the money. Okay. Okay, we'll share it.
There's a holder
So,
behind you.
what?
There is a holder up there.
Yeah, I'm going to be all right. So celebrate life. Now, as I walked out the shower, because what happened to me at that moment, I'm realizing that I am in ecstasy of emotions, not pain. But my emotions were absolutely like this. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on with me? So I go to my wife, I says, am I delusional? Am I lying to myself? But I'm right now flying high with beautiful, loving emotions. And I said, you know, maybe at the funeral, they'll be different. I walked in the funeral, I see my daughter laying in the casket, and I'm realizing that there's a physical body of my daughter, but there is no energy in the body anymore. And I said, I'm celebrating your life. And all of a sudden, whatever I felt that time tripled in emotional state. I'm like, whoa, it just hit me. I'm like standing there and I don't understand why people are crying. I don't understand why they're in pain. I'm realizing that the eternal soul just got released from the physical body and it's here saying goodbye to us. But here's the secret. You cannot, it's impossibility to feel that free soul through your pain. It will never connect. It's two different energies. I was feeling my daughter and I still feel her every day. And I celebrate her life and I never shed a tear or never had an experience of pain because of that simple choice. That was my thing with grief. And my father had a really difficult time. And I couldn't explain to him because he's a worse atheist than I was. He was born in Russia. Okay, so basically grief was an experience that I literally changed my life, understanding how the universe works, how the eternity works. It's beautiful. Oh, how do we lose our innocence? Anybody?
Starts in kindergarten.
This guy, go ahead.
Everything that we're programmed basically after birth.
Yeah.
Very slowly.
Yeah, I apologize, but when I have conversation with people who believe in Jesus Christ, and being an atheist, I'm going to give you a little bit of understanding how we live. See, atheist is the most powerful belief system in the world. Because if you believe in Jesus Christ, guess what happens to you guys? You go to heaven. If you're Jewish, you're a chosen one. If you're Buddhist, you well, listen, I was told I was a chosen one. Damn, what a trip. I loved it every moment, but then I realized I was more trapped in my fear than anything else. Because when you're not free, by the way, my car license plate says freedom. Because that's exactly what I want to do. I want to learn how to be free inside. I don't want anybody to push my buttons. You push my buttons, I want to know why. Guess who pushes our buttons the best? Family. Okay, that's why I ran away to Arizona from Philadelphia, because I couldn't handle them pushing my buttons. Guess what happened? They came to visit. No, see, I thought it's like, they come to visit and I'm like, Dad, dude, okay, like, he's my biggest teacher in the world. So the thing is about pushing the buttons. If you do not allow people pushing the buttons, and I do something, I'm going to give you little tricks on it. So here's what I do. Let's say you're standing somebody and you're having a conversation. Try this. This is a good tool. Let's get up for a second, right? Let's say we're having conversation and we're really not doing too well, okay? And you're talking to me. You know what I do? I take a step back. He comes back to me. I said, hold on a second. I take a step back. And I say, no, please don't come, because what I do, I physically change the reality. Because we are physical beings, and in physical reality, we can change it by simply taking a step back and looking at the situation while you're standing and asking yourself a question. Because when we face to face, the energy colliding too close to us. I appreciate you, okay? Thank you. Give him hands, please. Just give him a. He was stepping towards me like, So the situation is take a step back. When you have somebody who's emotionally triggering you, and that's what's going to happen. Just physically take a step back. It's simple, okay? Or take a cold shower, if you can. Okay. We lose our innocence is because when I look at it, we program our children with our own fears that was given to us by our ancestors. They had no clue how to deal with it. They didn't know how to deal with it. They didn't know what the energy is, especially living in the atheist world. You cannot figure that out. And when you live your life in constant pain, guess what happens? You get old fast, and you literally struggle consistently. Because somebody comes in, music does a really good job triggering your emotions. Some kind of a picture triggers your emotions. Here we're going to do a little testing. This is a cool one. I love this one. I'm going to ask this young lady. Please tell me one of the most remarkable experiences of your life.
Wow, there's so many.
I'm just looking for one.
My most remarkable. just being in a bliss state.
But that's got to be a physical
I
experience.
guess when I'm traveling, when I'm free, when I feel free.
When you feel free.
Yeah.
Okay. But for instance, for me, I remember when I was laying in the ocean, and there was a moment that I was completely felt free. Now, if I ask you to give me, how did you feel when you realized the question was raised?
I've had a few epiphanies in my life where like a light bulb was
Mhm.
lit off and I get visions and downloads and it's like puzzle pieces come through and I feel like, wow, like I'm on the right path.
Wow. This
Yeah.
I would use word wow. I use it a lot. This is a wow factor. You feel remarkable when you have that experience. But if I'm going to ask you, the same person, to give me a bad experience, do you have one? Because you said you're happy 10 times. I remember that. So that's why I'm picking on you.
Yeah. So when I have a bad experience, I find the best like positive outcome of why I'm having the bad experience, and I see the good in it.
Okay. We are brought up to do that here because most of us are conscious. We consciously came to this experience, this expo, to experience other people's emotions and feelings, and we're really doing a great job. Believe me, this is my first conference here, and I'm literally loving everything. So, the reason we experiencing pain emotions because as they build into your system, that's when we lose our innocence. And if we don't have the tools how to get them out, or the people come into your life and push the button to tell you they exist in you, you don't know. This is when you become conscious. You gotta know when somebody pushes your button. And be conscious about it, not to be upset with them, but figure out why you're experiencing this at this moment. Why is this person, when he pushed the button, made me feel this way? All right, depression is a choice. Now, there is a lot of people who say it's not a choice, but how does a person get into depression? What happens to them? What does they do?
They live in the past.
They get locked in. Anybody saw a movie called What Dreams May Come?
Oh my God, that's so good.
I've watched it 20 times. This is my absolutely the most favorite movie of all time. Okay? We get locked into the loop, and we chose to do that. I have people that I console a little bit, and they say, "Well, why are these things happening to me?" I said, "Because you like it." They go, "What do you mean? I don't like this." I said, "If you didn't like it, you wouldn't do it." It's really that simple. You're going to do or find somebody who's going to allow you, or some way find a way to get out of it. Is this going to be a conversation with a friend or somebody on the street? Doesn't make a difference. You need to find a way how to get out of your own depression. And if you get out of your own depression, you have a choice. How many believe in free will and free choice? You see, most of us believe in free will and free choice. I love that concept. I mean, to me, free will and free choice is absolutely the most remarkable concept that ever existed in our reality, spiritual reality. Love. Oh, how do you feel about that one? Great stuff. Now, I'm going to give you a secret. I mean, this is my philosophy, so you can love me or don't like me, please. Love does not exist. What we have on this world, what I realize, an emotional addictions to idea what love is. But true unconditional love is a completely different story. I had a glimpse of it. That's why I'm connecting to that part of me and saying, love does not exist because we need to create it. It's like a flower that needs the water and the sun. It needs to be continuously fed and continuously grown. And if you don't grow it, guess what's going to happen? It's going to die. It's going to die. And then unconditional love. Okay, most of us go through relationships, and I'm going to say most of us because I'm part of the reality, as a roller coaster ride. Sharp edges, up and down. And then some of us have this smoother ride because there's more understanding, the more spiritual connection. But I'm going to ask the question is how many seen a flat liner? I call the unconditional love, it's a flat liner, completely flat. When no matter what your partner does, your emotions don't change. Ah, you're laughing. try that one. Oh my God, darling, how much did you spend? Okay, what happened to you?
No.
Okay, so basically what happens is we consistently, especially in the relationships, what I realized about the relationships, the most difficult part and the conflict that we have on this world is a relationship between a man and a woman. All the conflicts, government, religions, everything comes between a relationship between a feminine energy and male energy. And when we will find a way to find peace when we're in a relationship, because divorce rates is about what, 75%? Okay? And we have continuously struggles with it. Love is a beautiful thing. Like I said, it was a glimpse that I experienced, that unconditional love, because it was nothing I could ever imagine can be. Fear. Oh, wow. Got a great story about the fear. I had a colleague that she was working with me, and she came to the factory, and you can feel people's energy. People are who in tune to other people's energies, and I see she's not okay. I said, what's going on? She goes, nothing. I said, no. You cannot tell me there's nothing, because something is happening to you right here, right now, and we cannot work because it's not going to be smooth sailing throughout daily routine. She goes, okay. So finally I asked her I said, please sit down and tell me what happened. She goes, well, I was getting ready to work, and when I put my water in the refrigerator, and she lived with a few people that lived in the same house, and the morning that I decided that I need to come back to work, I opened up the refrigerator and the bottle was gone. And I'm like, bottle of water was gone? I swear to God, I'm sitting because it's dumbfounded to me, a bottle of water? She goes, it made me late. I said, when is the last time I was upset that you were late? She goes, never, because I'm never late. I said, well, you see, was I upset when you came late today? She goes, no. So you telling me you were driving from Sedona to my factory in Cottonwood, which is a 25-minute drive, feeling like crap. She looks at me, she goes, yes, they took my bottle of water. I said, well, why don't we create a different scenario? Let's take a look at it differently. But we all have those stories we can relate to, because we're always connecting to something. So let's take the story a little bit differently. Somebody opens up a refrigerator, sees the bottle of water, and they needed it. How do you feel about that? She goes, I feel okay with that. I said, why didn't you create that? Why did you create 25 minutes of hell for yourself, misery, driving to my factory, being that upset? So we cleared out the air and everything else, fine. Next day she comes in, she goes, you're not going to believe it. I said, what? What happened? She goes, nobody took my bottle of water. I said, what happened? She goes, somebody put something in front of it and I did not see it. I said, hallelujah! The universe just showed you the way. How many times it happens that we think and create stuff in our heads and it never happens? Fear. Her fear took over her. And unfortunately for me, she was a great girl, and I would love to work with her. But I said, listen, this is a great experience. Why don't we share it? Because I share my experiences very freely, because I'm not afraid what you're going to think about me. And the reason for it is because if I'm going to be afraid of what I existed in the past, it's going to be driving me crazy. I'm not going to be healthy. So I had remarkable experiences. I was raped as a child. Remarkable experience. Now everybody's thinking, whoa, how do you see it remarkable? Because the final result of me forgiving this guy was an experience of a lifetime. Absolutely a lifetime. It was my uncle. And when I realized that I need to approach him, he had no idea what I would be talking about. He was shaking physically. You know what I did? I hugged him. And I told him that I love him. This is where the energy went. Basically, we need to realize that we are energy beings. We are beings with a beautiful energy inside of ourselves. Oh, this is a good one. I want an input on that one. What is better, love or fear?
Neither.
I like this guy. What's up?
They're, no one's better than the other, they're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, you know, get out.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Okay, he knows everything, and that's a good thing because it's absolutely correct. Okay, he's laughing. All right, I ask these silly questions. I ask very simple, silly questions, and this silly, simple questions is, when you feel fear, what happens to you? You restriction. When you feel love, you feel this. There is actually, and I asked this question, and I will hope somebody will be able to give me the answer. Those who know the answer, just don't say anything. There is a part in the car that explains universe to perfection. It explains how the universe works. And it's easy and it's simple to understand it. What part in the car will explain the universe? Well, no. What? No, the wheel is just takes you direction because you can put it. What? You know, 99.9% of the time, well, actually 100% of the time, most people don't get it. A battery. Everybody makes the faces. Okay? We can call fear a negative energy, correct? We can call love positive energy. What is a battery? You got a plus and you got a minus. Can you start the car with a plus only? Nope. Can you start the car with a minus only? Nope. You can only start when both of those energies coexist in balance. And guess what it exists in balance? In the battery. But when you put plus and minus together, there is an explosion. They are not same energies. They cannot coexist, but they are in the same space. This is how the universe works. There's constantly balancing, checking pluses and minuses. Everything will balance itself out. So you're correct, sir. They're neither one of them. They're perfect in their own reality. And that's what I love about it, because when one thing it is that you need to understand about love, it's a great feeling. One thing you got to understand about fear, it's an amazing feeling. Because that fear brings you back into the balance, desiring more love. Okay, here's a great question. How many of you believe in God? Most of us. Beautiful. How many of you know God? Only few people raise their hands. How many of you seen God? All right. I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to ask you.
In children.
In children, correct. In expressions.
In
Okay.
animals.
In animals, okay. Go ahead. In life, correct. Go ahead, sir.
The feeling of love.
Feeling of love. Do you think God is love? Yeah, what about fear? It's part of our reality. Please understand, fear is not going to go away. We came to this reality specifically to experiencing everything. Love, fear, frustration, anger, compassion, and that's where we are. Okay, here's another great question I love to ask. How many, if you had to assign a number to God, I'm not asking you, just shut up. If I had to assign a number to God, what's the number would be? Yeah, you know what? Thank you so much. Why? Do you know why? It's infinite. You know, this is a pleasure to be here because when I'm outside this reality, I'm talking about Conscious Life Expo, people who are conscious, who are walking and striving to become better, they don't know. It's 1, 11, everything. But do you know why it's a 0? Simple mathematics. I actually created a formula with simple mathematics proving that existence of God absolute 0.
Void.
What?
It's the void where everything gets created.
Well, if you, it is correct. There's so many expressions, but I'm going to give you a simple one. And the simple one is if you envision 0 in the middle, and then you go on one side where you're talking about fear, -1, -2, -3 into infinity, and on the other side +2, +3, 4, 5 into infinity. Guess what it is? 0 does. Holds them together. The difficult part we have as humans here that we do not control the pluses and minuses. They control us. They're influencing us. In the reality of creation, of big creation, that reality controls the minus and the plus. If somebody makes you feel bad, you get emotionally upset. If somebody makes you feel good, you feel good. but we do not ourselves create that space. And I can speak for myself, literally speak for myself, because it's like, somebody comes over, like I said, my father pushes my buttons. Oh, my wife, oh my God, Jesus, yeah. The relationship pushes your buttons, and it happens day in and day out. So I want to continue a little bit to go to finish it up. Consciousness is everything. And we're going to go to this. Okay, now it's fun time. I am actually going to show you physically, mentally, and spiritually how your bodies work in this reality. Flower of Sunlight is the companies that I developed, and I created a technology that literally helps you to balance out your energies. And that's why we have a machine there that will be able to show you your chakras and everything else. It's free. Usually people charge about $100 to do this. We do it for free because we want you to see your energy fields and everything else. And then here it is. This is part of the technology. But before I'm going to do this, I want to volunteer. Anybody? The big guy, he raised two hands. Oh my God, he's big. Okay, I'm going to speak up. Okay, what's your name, bro?
Ernesto.
Okay, pleasure. Okay, we never met, right?
No.
I'm not paying you, right? Not yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is ask you is to put your feet together completely. No, right here, stand up front so everybody sees you. Completely put your feet together. This is a tool that was given to me by my father-in-law, who's a lead scientist in Russian space program. He will actually test my technology on astronauts. I want you to stand up straight. Okay? Hold my hand. Okay? Get strong. I'm going to apply pressure, but you resist. Get strong. Ready? Great. My job is to get his arm out of balance. You see, his foot went off at 29.5. This machine stops working when the pressure is no longer there. Did you try to resist?
No, but I was relaxing into.
Okay, let's do this one more time so we give him opportunity to have proper experience. Ready? He's a big guy. When he got up, I didn't think, Jesus. Ready? Get strong. I'm applying the pressure. I want him to resist. You see his face? We're at 32, but he's resisting. Now I'm going to make him a Superman.
All right, let's see that one.
All right. Okay, here's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to hold this. Okay, put your feet together again. All right? And we're going to do, this machine actually hurts me because I have to apply a lot of pressure. Now I know what's going to happen. Ready? Resist.
Wow.
That worked.
No, I know. We're at 65. Now what happened? I put a hematine into his hands. Some people know it's a hematite and everything else, and all of a sudden his body functioning the way it's supposed to. We have electromagnetic pollution that consistently bombarding us in and out. And we cannot escape this. We have cell phone towers. We got addicted to lights. We are addicted to everything. And our body is not functioning the way it's supposed to. Simple as that. So what is my technology does is literally restores it instantaneously. I'm going to test you one more time. Put your feet together. Okay? Hold this in your hand. And we're going to do this one more time. Ready? Oh, you good? Yeah. All right. Look at his face. It didn't work, did it?
No.
Okay, it's a placebo. It's a blank. I can do this trick only once. Okay, now I thank you for it, but what I'm going to do, Ray, can you do me a favor? Can you bring me, I forgot to take a bottle of water, so I want to show him what it does before this, and I'll take a sip of water. Now what it's done is literally restore this flow of energy in the body. We have a natural flow of energy in the body. When that energy is out of whack, our body doesn't function properly. I have probably #1 breast cancer surgeon in the country. Will not do surgery without my oils. Okay, Dr. Dupree, 30 minutes perfect.
How long does this restoration remain?
Well, the restoration, well, I wear it all the time, but it's got to touch your skin to be operational. It works with your energy fields. We've done tests, we've done blood analysis, we've done so much work and studies with it that it's literally, the testimonies that we get, certain testimonies, I can't even put on my page, on my pages because it's so out of depth. Okay? So I'm going to test you one more time. You already know how your body feels. Feet together. Open your hand up. Okay? And I'm going to do this. I'm going to touch you. Wait. It's empty. You gave me the empty one.
Testing.
Hold on, maybe hold on. That's not.
Blow the mic.
Oh, we got it. It's okay. I'm gonna touch you with this. It's a little wet. I just touched it. Now I want to show you how smart the body is. Okay, put your feet together. Now remember how you felt. Now resist. Now, he knows I'm applying pressure. That's the look everybody looks at. That's happened over 150,000 times when I tested the people. What happens to your body, it's received the frequency of my technology, and for your body to react this way, that means it's really good for you. Now you're going to sit down. Now I need
What
somebody.
does he feel like though?
Well, the thing is what I ask people when they buy my technology to pay attention. Most of the people don't. And they're thinking, when we have, let's say we're in pain. How many people experience pain and then pain disappears? Whenever you are feeling here and all of a sudden your pain disappears, there's no longer a memory. Actually, women experience this with childbirth. When the child is born, well, all the pain they go through, it disappears almost instantaneously. No, because your cellular, because your skin already got this energy. And what happens to your blood? Medical experts literally have difficult time to explain, literally. And when you come in to see me at the booth, we'll show you some videos. Let me put some stuff on you. So this way you're going to have a little bit more. I need somebody shorter, smaller than him, because I don't want to struggle. Thanks a lot, I appreciate it. Give him a hand.
How long will that last? Will you test it at
Actually,
the end of the
this
day?
is okay. I use it twice. I use it twice a day.
Okay.
It's good for business because gotta use it. I'll be honest. You know, this is all about creating opportunity, financial abundance, and it's not just for me because we. Actually, this month, a year ago, I closed down a very successful high-end jewelry store to do this. Because I was called to do this. This technology was a hobby for me for many years. I did more energy work in my high-end jewelry store than anything else. And I said, seriously, people come in to buy jewelry, I sell them jewelry, and then I sell them technology. You know, it worked really well for me. Okay, anybody else want to get tested? Okay, this young lady right here. Now, with you, I'm going to test you. I'm not going to use it because this machine hurts my hands. What's your name, Laura?
Dr. Nicolette.
Doctor. What kind of doctor?
Doctor of acupuncture and training.
Okay, here we go. Nice meeting you. Put your feet together. I work with a lot of people who put your feet together.
Hold it together.
Stand up straight. Let me see. Okay. Now she's going to use her energy on you. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Hold it strong. She's meditating. I want you to hold your hand strong and resist. Yeah, they all try. Okay, there's nothing you can do. I'm going to tell you about anomalies. And when I say anomalies, after testing probably over 160 to 70,000 people in 20 years doing this, in my story testing 10, 20 times different people all the time, the anomalies is the people who completely grounded naturally. I don't sell product to them. They're very small percentage of them, and most of them children. Okay? And the reason for it is because they came with a specific energy to do something in this world, and their parents have no clue who they are. Literally. Okay, so this is a physical test, and you had what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you experience the technology here. Okay, hold my hand and resist. She's going to lose her grip, but look at her body. She's not struggling at all. Feel the difference?
Yeah, I can feel the difference.
Okay. Now, this wasn't just a physical test. Now, I have to take her to the wall, okay, because we're supposed to have something that she's been told to do it from. What I'm going to show you is I want you to stand in front of this, okay, this wall right here.
Wait, like.
Right here, face it.
Face it.
Okay, face this wall. Now, what I'm going to do is reproduce my technology without my technology. I want you to find a spot anywhere here.
Okay.
Feet together. Hold my hand strong. Resist. Now, she doesn't have my technology. I'm applying continuous pressure. She's not moving. Look at this. Look at her body. Okay, fantastic. Nothing happens. Now, I'm going to ask you to stand in front of this banner. I want you to look right in front. I want you to look at this.
Okay.
Okay. Now, how did you feel, by the way? How did you feel?
Grounded?
Grounded.
Yeah, I felt grounded.
Now, she doesn't have my technology. People look at me like, says, oh, well, we don't need your technology. I said, my job is done. Because you can do this yourself, but can you do this continuously. And I want your opinions on it. Feet together. I want you to find the spot right over here. I want you to hold my hand strong. And I want you to resist.
I can't do it. Wow. Why?
That's a question. Why? Anybody?
Disrupted. Just disrupted with the body.
The biggest handicap we as humans have is our mind. The biggest issues we have is what's happened is there is a solid color here. There's nothing for the brain to interpret. As soon as we give the dimension, the mind starts working. Guess what happens to your soul? Your soul locks in. The soul locks in. It just locks in. The soul is a net neutral energy. It never will overpower your mind or your physical body. That's what I figured out. So basically, as soon as there is a color and shape, she couldn't hold it. She was actually got weaker because the mind began to work. As soon as there is a solid color, there's nothing for the brain to interpret. But how many times you going to do your work standing in front of the wall? Okay? Or how many times you're going to do this? Okay? But now we're going to do something else. Now, I'm going to repeat this. Now, this was a mental test because I want you to understand how your mind works. Now we're going to do a little different test. Put your feet together. I want you to close your eyes. I'm going to touch your forehead. This is where your thoughts are. I'm going to touch your body. This is where you're feeling them. I want you to combine your thoughts and your feelings. I want you to hold my hand. Get strong and resist within. Look at it. The continuous pressure, guys. She could stand there, but she's a female, so I'm continuously apply pressure. How do you feel?
Good.
You feel good?
Yeah.
Now what I want you to do is do exactly what I did. Do me a favor.
Okay.
I'm going to just hold your hand and I want you to repeat the test. What you're going to do is you're going to knock your head for me to apply pressure. Can we do that?
I'm gonna do what to my hand?
You're going to give me this sign so I can
Oh,
start
okay.
applying the pressure.
Okay,
Feet
got it.
together.
Okay.
Okay, hold my hand. And whenever you're ready to experience this,
It's harder.
anybody why? Come on.
What changed? Because you asked me to.
Because she didn't combine her.
Here's a secret, guys. Our physical body is a commandment. I touch her physically. As soon as we touch it physically, we command the body to respond. As soon as you do acupuncture, this is perfect for you to be able to actually utilize it in your practice. As soon as you physically say, I'm commanding my mind and my soul to my consciousness to connect, completely different results. It took me 12 years to develop this stuff because I couldn't figure it out because she's not using my technology. But the issue we're having with this is that we cannot work or do things with our eyes closed. My technology is a sponsoring tool to help you to do things and become better. So can you do me a favor? Go through the process, but physically touch your forehead, physically connect to yourself, and then nod to me when you're ready to resist. Completely different. Can you feel it? So what I realized, and I'm going to put a little oil on you so you can have an experience. What's that? Okay. Now what happens is we can get it, when we meditate, this is actually what happens to us. We basically balancing ourselves out and we connecting to ourselves. But we work, we play, we go on vacations, we have fun, we go listen to the music, we go dancing. Our eyes is consistently gathering information. That information is consistently taking us out of that. If you look at Buddhists, what is it trying to accomplish? There's one thing. They sit and meditate, they're combining this and this together. But how many of us are going to become a Buddhist? I was in the previous lifetime. I didn't like it. Okay? Maybe I did, and then maybe it's just a story. But what happens to us is that we can be clear with our eyes open. This is really, really important. Okay, just a little bit of touching you. I'm going to just want you to have an experience. Almost
nothing.
Well,
It's like,
you know how
you see
smart?
it though.
Yeah, you know how smart our body is. Instantaneous. If you walk in a room and there is a negative energy, how many of you feel it? You feel it because somebody is literally vibrating negativity. The body responds to it instantaneously. This is why this technology is so potent. Like I said, I have a testimony, and I'll share my resist. See, right now she's completely grounded, and she's going to be like this for a long time. So tell me something about
Smells
it.
good too.
Oh yeah. I use nothing but best ingredients. I don't compromise because I don't have to. A lot of people who in our world, by the way guys, we spiritual teachers, spiritual guidance, spiritual seekers must be the richest people on the planet. You gotta ask yourself a question, why we're not. It's really important because the programming been built into us to be broke and poor because we're doing the job and we're not supposed to get paid for it.
Plus
We-
the FDA doesn't help either.
Thank you. Okay. Everybody's against us, but we're supposed to be the richest one because we have a capability to be peaceful, to more loving. Because look at the world like this is not the way it's supposed to be. I really thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And I would like to share something with you because this is my time. Okay, now if you look at these pictures before and after, this is a PhD from UCLA, did a study for me. If you see the holes on the side right here, this is energy holes. This is after my oil. Okay? This is, and I have this machine that does the work. Now this is my favorite story. You see the chakra line up on the left-hand side? This kid came to me, he's 24 years of age. Look how small his chakras. He was non-existent. He's emotional wreck. Actually, I'm counseling him and his wife, and she's a spiritual. She goes to all the conferences. She likes to learn. Non-existent. This is within literally, I believe, 3-4 minutes. His chakras. Look at the side. They may be off a little bit, off balance a little bit, but that's not a big deal. But look at the size of his chakra opening up. This is what technology does. It's open up your natural energies, allowing you to function the way it's supposed to be. How many of you cut your fingers in the past? Okay. How many of you thought about it, how it heals? How? Go ahead.
How do I visualize it healing.
Okay, but how does it heal? How does the physical body
The
does it?
cells come together.
Come together. Now, you know what's remarkable about the physical body? It knows what to do without us knowing. You know what's even more remarkable to me? It's like eternity or consciousness or everything else, is that when you cut your finger, the body will reproduce the fingerprint to the same thing that it was existing before. To me, it's mind-boggling. Can you imagine to be able to create a damage in the body that has ability to reproduce it and heal it, and there is not even mark, unless it's a very dramatic one. Now, what I want to do is, okay, this is before and after picture. If you look at it right here, look at how much space. This is when she was wearing no pendant. Look how much space it here. It expands the energy really, really high. And this is with a pendant. Okay, this is something. Here's a quick thing. I was in California and was doing natural product shows and everything else. I had a crew with video cameras and everything else, and we're walking in. And sometimes you intuitively need to go in specific space. Anybody done that before? They just go into the space. I had an office, a medical office, and I said, I gotta go there. I said, we're hungry. I said, I don't care, I gotta go there. I walk in, the guy on the phone goes, bring me crutches. I sprinkle my ankle, I cannot walk, I'm in pain. And I just prototyped my oil. I said, well, I know why I'm here. I said, sir, I have this oil and I may help you. He really didn't care. If it was poison, he wouldn't care because the pain literally was that great. I put this, on his ankle, and I might apologize for the language, but he goes, what the fuck? Okay, and he's walking and he's trying to locate the pain. Remember Jesus? How did he heal people? He used no surgeries, he used nothing but energy. And I'm going to give you a secret what he used. He used to heal the soul. Not the soul, opening up the soul. When the soul opens up, your body functions the way it's supposed to. This is what it's all about, to open up your energy so your body can function the best way. Now this video, when I saw microscopes, I said, would you do me a favor? Can you test what happens to the blood with my oils? She goes, with pleasure. And no sound. Ray? Hold on. Thank you.
How big chakras can get?
Okay, you see, a lot of people think they need to line up the chakras right in the middle. but it's not the key. As long as it's not off to the red, where I can bring it back probably to show you. Okay, here. You see there's a 3 colors here. There is a red, yellow, and green. As long as you're in the green area, but yeah, I just wanted to show you, look at this third eye chakra. Look at this chakra. Look at the heart chakra. It's exploded. Look at everything that's happening. He's my favorite guinea pig to show this off. Seriously, because we never seen anything like it.
She went to go find the.
Okay.
Went to go find the
All right, so what we do is I can test somebody until somebody else who wants to have another experience. You want to be tested? I will be testing everybody who would want to be outside because our time limited here. So we're going to do this. Come over here.
Does this soften someone's personality, like when you're teenagers being crazy?
I'm sorry. They were laughing and I did not hear what you said.
Can you just go by your teenager and dog them? You know, kind of out of line.
Ooh, I love that.
Your teenagers? Just keep on praying. Sorry, but you know, teenagers is a different reality. But I want to tell you this much. I had a phone call one time where a woman calls me up and said, "Thank you for saving my son's life." And I have those phone calls all the time. Not all the time, but the very special ones. And there was one time when a father called me and says the medical field could not figure out what's wrong. She was literally physically dying. She put an oil on her. 2 days later, she left the hospital. I have thousands of testimonies like this. But the kid was suicidal because the mother was going through divorce and everything else. That's emotional stress for the child. She says, "Wear my pendant." And she wore the pendant. The kid was in a week shift completely. Stopped doing drugs, alcohol, all those things, and changed. I mean, there is stories, I have thousands of these stories, and they're just really dear to my heart because it helps people. Okay, so we'll do this test here. Oh, this one got a lot of them. It's all right, it's all right. I'll update you. Go ahead. Go ahead, put your feet together. Stand up straight. Hold my hand. Don't open up. I'm going to apply pressure with this. Okay. You're pretty strong. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to show you how smart the body is. Put your feet together. Our body is so smart it knows what's inside here. Hold this in the hand. Without touching it, it knows what's inside the bottle. Resist. This is a wow factor. Everybody, when I test people, they say it's a weird sensation. It's literally a weird sensation. Okay?
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you do yoga?
Not really, but I do a lot of breathing.
Okay, we'll try this. I'd like to do another test. If you can raise your leg up a little bit. I'm going to apply pressure here.
Okay.
Let's see if it works. Okay, I want you to get stiffen up a little bit. Okay, ready? Get strong.
Oh yeah.
Okay, open your hand up. Okay, let's do this same thing. Remember how you felt? Now resist.
Oh wow. That is bizarre. Oh my gosh. I can barely eat. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
you explain what's inside?
Okay.
Like,
Okay,
what's in the
yes, I'm going to do this explanation. Unfortunately, what I'm going to do is literally run this thing for you. I have a little bit of time left, and I'm going to give you an explanation on it. But I'm going to explain what's happening there without the sound. What he's doing is photography of the cells when you take the blood from your finger, and he's actually looking at my blood cells. And what happens is he's explaining what kind of microscopes it is, and that if you look at the blood, it's literally stuck together. I got a bad news for you guys. This is what our blood looks like for everybody here today due to electromagnetic pollution, mental, emotional stresses, and improper diet. You're not going to escape it unless you put yourself somewhere on a deserted island. See how it's stuck together? Mm-hmm. That's what's happening to your blood consistently. I applied the oil, and I'm going to be explaining to you here. And I will have to basically, okay, applying the oil, getting oil, okay. And then I applied it. I had no idea where to apply it and what to do. So I applied it over the chest too, trying to figure it out, because this is exactly what happened there. 10 minutes later, this is what happens to the blood with my product. This is healthy, but what's more interestingly about it, that you can achieve those. There's products out there that are capable of achieving that. What's the difference? You see he's showing the neutrophil. That neutrophil got physically 3 times larger and 10 times internally active, which is really difficult to achieve with anything. Okay? Then he had a patient there, and she's going to show up. And what we've done is we've done the test to figure out within 5 hours, the blood goes back to, again, being sticky together after the 5 hours. And what happens, it's good for business. Remember what I told you. I'm here to do business, so you understand it, but it's really healthy stuff. Okay? It sticks together, and I use my product every day. By the way, anybody play pickleball here? Dudes! Okay. I got addicted to this stuff badly. I play 6 hours non-stop, and I play on a very high level.
Turn on the volume, do you want to restart it?
Oh, okay.
Not a sound guy, but I did it.
Okay.
What we're using is a BX51, which is made by Olympus, APO lenses, which are the highest you can get for a standard microscope. It's a phase contrast microscope, which allows us to look at the blood while it's alive and functioning. As you can see, all the blood is stuck together quite considerably, and properly in blood that has proper amount of nutritional supplementation, that has the proper enzymes, they should be individually. There's almost no free-flowing blood. Again, the energy level in the body would then be considerably less. As was seen before, the immune system was sluggish. Now you can see the neutrophils are large and functional. This is a neutrophil right here. Great motion internally. The blood is no longer stuck together. Almost definitely I'm going to have the product. This is absolutely unbelievable. This does not happen. But here's a neutrophil. Before they were very small, as we showed. They were about that size. The granulocytes were not active. And now it is amazingly active. As expected, a lot of separation still. The substance appears to still be functioning properly, or doing whatever it's doing.
My name's Doreen Hollimer.
Okay, you're a friend of Robert's.
I'm a good friend of Robert.
Yep.
He takes very good care of me with my blood.
That's her blood.
I'm seeing something I've never seen.
What is it?
See right there? That's a transport of information from one cell to the next.
Really? What's that?
Yes. It's the first time I've ever seen it. I'm absolutely, I'm speechless. I'm looking at this and I'm not believing what I'm seeing.
Okay. Guys, this is, I'm pretty sure my time is running out, but this is actually my favorite part of doing this kind of a gathering. Okay? I would like to all get up for a second. Okay. All right. I would like you just to have a moment. And I want you to have a moment to realize one most amazing thing. Every individual in this room is one of the most unique energies in the universe. There's nobody like you. You are so unique in every way, vibrationally. And when you leave this world, you will live with an experience. Most of the time, the audience applauds to the speaker and everything else, but I beg of you not to do that. What I want to do is for you to literally give yourself a standing ovation, but please understand, I want you to do it the best, because you're applauding yourself for being amazing. You're applauding yourself for being absolutely the best this universe is offering. So I want to applaud you, but do it to yourself. Everybody who wants to be tested, if we gonna get loaded up with some people just coming in, we'll take our time, we'll be here two days, and we'll take care of it. And if we have a minute, if somebody has a question, you can ask me out there. Go ahead. Please.
I wanted to know what your booth number is.
We're right here outside. There's no place to go.
So what's the difference between the two oils? Would you come back later?
I'm sorry, they don't expire, but please use them up. It's on the bottom, it's a whole bunch of, they're all different cold types.
Yeah, Biomed, yeah. Yeah, I was in Sedona a week or so ago, and I was thinking Sedona, but yeah, then I realized after reading it, Sedona wasn't there.
I don't know. I want to go walk around and look at some booths. I want to go walk around and see some booths, and then maybe, is there another speaker that you just want to really see before that? Because I know I want to see I bought tickets for the other one, Star Right, so for time being now, I'm just finishing the art. I thought there was the one that Mom you wanted to see. Which one?
I didn't buy into your videos that how to do the first one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And then, what time does it start?
Living Labyrinths for
I will see you guys outside.
Jerry.
You're amazing.
Oh, we have to. So we have time to hang out for a little bit, and then we'll go to Jerry's. The intuitive artist.
Yeah. I got that. What time is that?
It's at 12.
Well then.
I feel like you would like that one. We could do it. We could separate. If you would.
Oh, that is this room.
What's in this room out there?
Yeah, it's on my.
Yeah.
I haven't even had a chance to look at the schedule. Okay, it's actually.
What room is this one?
Jacques Barber. This is the plaza.
Yeah, I think we're gonna, yeah, my assistant and I were doing a lot of blood.
It's
So
The St. Gal
Awaken Your
at Mars, yeah, but Jana, she was with me at Biomed.
I've got somebody
Anyway,
upstairs.
Oh, so I want to, you know, talk about. Do you have a card or anything? Information?
But I will contact you. And I'll tell you that I talked to you here.
Okay, sure.
Oh wait, oh yeah, so and also then like
I tell people, whatever
right now,
think is gonna mitigate it, that's great, but don't stop, because we're letting it around, it's not like it's really Yeah. Oh, it was the root cause, yes, exactly, yes, I remember now, yes.
This here is probably not attached to the here, but it's being held by that one, it's being held by that one.
right, and so live, because it's like an antenna, so it might still send the energy.
Yeah.
So that's not, yeah, because I heard like data stuff, they say like.
That's what I feel.
I have crazy curly hair, so if I
Right.
I get dreaded.
That's what happened with me. People asked, how did I do it? I said, no, yeah, I just stopped combing it. You know, when I took a shower, it would curl and I just wouldn't. It took almost a year, but eventually they.
Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with that, or, you know, I shouldn't say familiar, aware of it, you know.
No
So
problem.
many people send me so many.
In a way, I
things,
feel
and
I am
everybody's
supposed to,
interested in
but I don't know about
it, you
everybody else.
know. Exactly,
So that's why I just encourage you to just use it, you know. No, I'm not counting that it magically takes it all away, you know, but use it. That's really the bottom line, you know. Your immune system is going to keep your nutrients up, break it down your immune system. I carry a couple nutritional ones, yeah, I use 2 mom and pop.
The thing is, you wanna get the goal.
And the other one is
Yeah.
nutrition out of salt lake.
That's a must. So like,
And that girl seems
Yeah,
to just
and
cover my
then
life.
other practitioners.
I finally put my foot down.
Those are my go-tos, because I know the owners, I know how they've sourced, I know it's like heat process, you know, all these things that are, yeah, important to me, but,
I always tell myself that when I get in
yeah, there is, you know, a lot of
So
stuff out
don't
there.
stop looking, because she will see you. I'm not gonna see her. I'm not gonna look at her.
Intuitively
She's looking
moved
at
by,
you.
right?
You just
Yeah.
have to be
I
there.
told myself, like, after I kind of like,
Exactly, right.
energized this other person I've been around for 2 years, like, I don't want a woman, I don't want to date, I just want to come to this business, like, sexual, like, learning how to do transportation. And then like a week later, sorry, like a week later, this woman comes in.
There you have it. All right, Donald, what are you headed next?
I don't know, you know, I just saw Sheravine shot for your ear pass by, and I kind of wanted to talk.
I have a product I carry that has a lot of, it's from XR Nutrition. So it's a big well, this one is greens and fruits, antioxidants and probiotics, but normally it's 60. I have to look at the ingredients. Yeah, yeah. That's the retail price.
Yeah, the tech, the AV, you know, individuals, well, they, I don't, that's new for me,
Yeah.
I guess, but, so that's not like I'm used to that, right, but, so that's been here all day. So since this morning, yeah, so that was the yesterday, so, I wonder if it's where somebody else. We still need that.
What is the company?
It's called.
How many servings, so in like one scoop, how many servings of fruit and vegetables are in there? Yeah.
Okay, that's pizza.
Yeah, send me that, I'm always, you know, I'm always willing to look at ingredients. Right. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Do you know the antioxidant rating on it, the ORAC rating?
I don't know, but it's 330.
Right, right, yeah, exactly. Price doesn't always mean anything, you know. What is their membership fee?
In the laundry room, there's a couple things. It's a And also, something about the AC is.
So it's 40 a year plus 10 a month?
For those who want to be part of the matrix, or is it just want to get retail, more for wholesale?
Yeah, I'd be curious to look at ingredients, you know? Yeah, email that over to me, that'd be awesome. Yeah. You too.
What an amazing rap pickleball player he is.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah. Are you gonna start competing?
Well, he
too?
said that I don't have to get on it. I love it.
No, yeah, I'm definitely, I need to contact the hotel, which I can do once I get back upstairs. And the batteries, he told me what room the batteries are in, so once I grab them, I can come down and get them. Yeah, I'll see you around.
I mean, it's not a huge room, so if they are up here, they should be able to project, right? Well, his voice was pretty soft. Yeah.
Or I guess we could.
We're gonna have time.
I know, this should. Yeah, that one, but I think, so I'm gonna just gonna take this one out. And we'll take responsibility.
Oh, and then there's a hand.
I don't know how he's, yeah, I don't know how this works, but I'm just taking this out to
Sorry, I mean,
be, oh, that's all right.
throwing away trash and.
Cool, so yeah, what do you need to have the banner?
What's up?
This is strange. How fun.
Do you want the table up here? Yeah. I was thinking that.
Hello.
What's that? We're gonna bring the back.
Hi, Mom. Where's your dog? Oh, good dog.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Love this. Yeah, I was at like 10:30. No, I came here. I'm busy. But anyway,
Oh.
but there is a stuff that I wanted to do. Yeah.
And,
So I won't make you nervous? No. Can we sit on the end, or are you gonna sit there?
I'm gonna probably sit in the back.